for you. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob! SpongeBob! That's what I'm talking about. So, oh hey, SpongeBob's on your shirt! Yes! All right, get excited everybody, get excited because we have a very special guest coming up here. Now, who loves the Ice King from Adventure Time? Okay, or what about the mayor from the Powerpuff Girls? Y'all know what they all have in common? They were voiced by, all of those characters were voiced by, and many other characters were voiced by our next guest, Tom Kenny. He's about to hit the stage. The fans are going wild. And to get this party started, I want to bring out the moderator, who is Hector Navarro. Give it up for Hector Navarro. Enjoy, have a great time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I am so excited, and I think the gentleman is ready. I just have to rattle this off in case anybody wasn't aware. SpongeBob SquarePants debuted in 1999. It is currently up to 278 episodes, 3 movies, and 1 musical, and much, much more. We're talking to the man himself, SpongeBob SquarePants, Mr. Tom Kenny!
Good morning, Krusty Crew! How are you? Nice to see you! Am I too late for the Jimmy Neutron panel? When's that happening? Oh my God! I didn't know Carolyn Lawrence was going to be here for that. I'm like Sandy the Squirrel and SpongeBob are hanging out. And we're actually sober because it's early in the morning. You know those Texas people. Come on. How you guys doing? Hi, everybody. Wow! Look at that VIP lounge. That is some fancy living.
Tom, everybody is so excited to see you. I want to try and get to some questions and answer some Q&As from the fans, so we're going to get
Cool.
to that real soon. We've got 30 minutes for this panel, but I wanted to ask you some stuff. First of all...
Great. Is that your way of telling me keep your answers short?
No.
Because you babble? Yeah,
as
okay.
long
Yeah.
as you want. But I hope I said that right. Is that the current state of the SpongeBob universe? You're doing 3 shows right now, right? Let everybody know like where you guys are at.
Yes, well, there's SpongeBob, there's Camp Coral, there's the Patrick Show, and then there's, you know, the occasional project that they're working on. You know, there's always a feature or a special or, you know, what they call movies. You know, who knows where those are going to wind up, some streaming service somewhere. But yeah, it's always this constant. It's constant, and so yeah, it's crazy. Like my day is probably, you know, I probably work on SpongeBob stuff a good 4 days a week, like 3 or 4 days, 4 days. Yeah, full days. And then the day that's not SpongeBob is the day where they jam pack everything that's not SpongeBob in, right? So that's your Rick and Morty's and your Star Trek Lower Decks and you know, all your stuff like that. So it's insane. I always say like I always feel like I'm on a treadmill that's on 11, you know, and I'm always like, Jane, stop this crazy thing, you know, like the Jetsons. But it's always, you know, I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I like being employed. You know, if you have a job that you like, it seems weird to not do as much of it as you can. You know, well, people still want you.
Come on, working actor, ladies and gentlemen, right there, Tom Kenny. Thank you. I think you're going to be employed. I think you're set. I think you're good.
Yes, and I direct all the stuff in the SpongeBob universe too. I'm also the voice director for all things SpongeBob for the last.
Can we get a round of applause for that? I don't think enough people know that, Tom. You are the voice director for the 3 SpongeBob shows.
Yes,
and
the other stuff.
And so, were you nominated for an Emmy for voice directing as well, or for your role?
Yes, I was nominated. I think last year and lost, but this year I'm nominated for voice acting.
For voice acting,
Yeah.
come on.
So I'm up for an Emmy right now. What's funny is I did not. The first 20 years SpongeBob was on, I didn't even get a ghost of an Emmy nomination, right? I'm like 20 years, I'm like, okay, I guess whatever. But then suddenly, after 20 years, they started. Suddenly, I started getting nominated for Emmys. I guess they noticed SpongeBob was on or something. You know, it took 20 years.
And to go back to your voice directing, I have heard rumors that like because you have that double side of the job, you're SpongeBob, you're also voice directing the shows. that even when you're in recording sessions for other shows, like you mentioned, your Star Treks and all the other stuff, that you're working on SpongeBob scripts. Is that true? Like in between takes, are you doing notes?
Well, you know, you use all parts of the buffalo every time there's, yeah, you know what I mean? Whenever there's any downtime, oh great. And especially because of pandemic, 99% of the stuff is still over Zoom. You know, you're directing everybody over Zoom. I think with SpongeBob, we're supposed to start going back into the studio for ensemble records either next week or the week after. But since 2020, it's all been on Zoom. So in a way, that kind of sucks. But in a way, it's kind of nice because you could just go, wow, instead of driving across town, I just changed Zoom windows. You know, it's like, wow, I guess that was my commute. That was pretty cool. You know, click,
Wait,
you know.
are they booking you for different jobs like a minute apart? Is that what it is now?
It gets pretty tight, and then there's also some stuff I direct for DreamWorks and Netflix and stuff like that. A lot of which I can't talk about yet. That is also voice directing stuff. So and then you have to prepare that stuff. You know, you gotta look at the storyboards. You gotta be really conversant with everybody's part, the storyboards, the scripts. I mean, you gotta be on top of everything because there's so many moving parts. So it's kind of like Frogger. You know what I mean? I always feel like that old video game Frogger. Like I'm just trying to cross the freeway without getting flattened. You know, and so far I haven't been quite flattened yet. So
You are seriously at an 11, sir. You were not kidding. So I wanted to ask, was SpongeBob, was that the first project that you voice directed on? Was that the first one?
Yes, yes.
Wow. What
And-
made you decide to want to get into voice directing on top of all the other stuff you were doing?
I never did. I like that was not an aspiration of mine at all to be a voice director because you know I've worked with great voiceover directors. You know, voice directors Andrea Romano, Colette Sunderman, Charlie Adler. You know all these people, and I'm like I can't do that, and I don't want to do that. And you know it came like so many good things in my life. It came from Steve Hillenburg.
Wow.
It came from Steve Hillenburg. Shout out to Stephen Hillenburg, ladies and gentlemen.
The creator of SpongeBob
SpongeBob's
SquarePants.
father.
Wow.
Steve was the one. You know, we had been through a couple of voice directors, and for whatever reason, I don't know what, you know, they weren't quite getting what they wanted. He said, "Why don't you voice direct?" And I said, "No, I don't want to do that." And he said, "You're kind of doing it anyway. You know, you're kind of doing it from the booth because I come from a stand-up comedy background and sketch comedy, Mr. Show and all that." And he's going, okay, well, you're doing that anyway. Like you're saying, hey, why don't we try this joke? Or how about if Patrick says that instead of SpongeBob, and then I say this instead, and then we give this line to Squidward because that's more of a Squidward liner. You know, kind of reject. He goes, you're kind of doing it anyway. Give it a try. Give it a try. And I said, all right, but if it's not good, no harm, no foul. I have no ego. I have rhino skin. I did stand up for years. I'm like, if it doesn't work out, you won't hurt my feelings if you want to say we're bringing in a real voice director. And
But here you are. And you've even
years
been
later, like
Emmy
6, 7
nominated
years
for-
later.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's weird. So Steve Hillenburg, I mean, I could make a list of all the weird adventures that my life has taken, totally because of that one guy, because of Steve Hillenburg. You know, so many things that I've done. I go, wow, I wouldn't have done that, and that would not have happened if it hadn't been for Steven Hillenburg, because he said, try it, you know, do it.
I love that.
You know, yeah, he's the man.
So here's another thing I don't know if enough people know about, but Tom, you are a brilliant voice actor, brilliant voice director. You are an awesome performer and musician. You're in a band. You have a
Yes.
band, Tom Kenny and the High Seas, and you guys are performing tonight. Tonight at 8 p.m.
That's good, you knew.
at the Los Angeles Comic-Con, the LA Comic-Con after party, and people can still get tickets.
Okay, that works for me.
There you
Yeah.
go.
We're playing at the Mayan Theater on Hill Street, downtown LA, and Tom Kenny and the High Seas, 12-piece band, horns, backup singer girls, dressed to the nines. Somehow, we are going to be there at 8 p.m. Doing music. It's a total party. It's great. There's another band called the Action Figures that's going to be there as well with a whole, yeah. So and we're going to be there and do our soul thing. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
So people can still get tickets, and you can even let your friends know, even if they couldn't get an LA Comic-Con ticket, they can still just get a ticket to the show. It's at 8 p.m. It's 21 and up. You just have to go to ComicConLA.com.
ComicConLA.com, and it's 21 and up. Got
21
it.
and up. Tell people also what kind of vibes do you guys bring? What kind of music do you play?
We do full-on 60s soul music, like screaming Chitlin Circuit, sweaty soul. We jump around, we go crazy. And so, you know, it's kind of like everything, I'm always trying to pay tribute to the people that went before, and I've been into that music my whole life, long before SpongeBob. So that's what we do. Sam Cooke, the Five Royales, Gary U.S. Bonds, Bobby Lewis, just like all those great purveyors of like American sweaty rock and roll. And a lot of them did not get their due when they were around, you know what I mean? Like, even if they sold records, I guess if people dance to us and go, hey, the SpongeBob guy's got a band, and then they go, wow, this is pretty cool. What is this music? And then they look up those people. We're also going to be doing, Best Day Ever and Don't Be a Jerk, It's Christmas, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to do those SpongeBob songs live, It's really fun.
That's the other great thing about SpongeBob is that the music is so good, and it has been from when it started. It's so cool that you guys incorporate that in there. So I was also learning about you backstage. You have an awesome vinyl record collection.
Who told you that?
Some of your folks back there, but also I didn't know this.
I got way too many records. Like, I got way too many comic books too.
Yeah.
But records have always been my thing, even more so than comic books.
This I know.
But yeah, 45, 78s, 1920s, 1930s, 1950s, somehow I skipped the 40s. I don't know why. The 40s were kind of lame. 60s, 70s, and then all the way to punk rock,
Yeah.
And then I kind of skipped the 80s and 90s too. But yes, 70s punk rock, because I was in high school from 76 to 80.
Oh my God.
So that was like, that first wave of CBGB's punk rock was like, wow, kind of like the first time you see a Jack Kirby comic or Steve Ditko or something. It just kind of blows your mind and informs your whole life. Till you're an old MFer,
You're such a geek. I love it. The other thing I learned that I had no idea about, Tom, you're apparently a huge fan of in-person live lucha libre shows. Is that true? Do you love Mexican wrestling? Tell us about it.
How many people here live in LA? Right. I love LA. And people are always putting down LA. Do you do this? How do you live there? Oh, LA. Oh, I know this and that, and this problem and that problem. And I'm like, you know what? Come to LA for a week, stay in my guest house, and I will show you why LA blows most other cities in America out of the water when it comes to fun stuff. It's like, I think it's a great music city. It's a great everything city, great food city. And, it took me a while to get used to LA because I've been in San Francisco for 8 years doing stand-up. I moved here in '92 during the riots. And right during the riots, I know, I was moving in. The day that I was carrying my furniture through the street, everybody else was carrying furniture through the street too. They were just moving a lot faster than I was. And I'm like, wow, what's up? And so that's when I moved here. But Lucha Libre in Los Angeles is one of the great things about LA. You can go down to East LA, you can go down to the barrio, and you can just see this amazing real Mexican wrestling. And again, it's inspirational for me because those guys, those performers, they're not making $1 billion, you know what I mean? And they are just giving it their everything, and everything for the fans, literally just injuring themselves because they love it, And so I just went to one last week, and then the place we're performing at tonight, the Mayan Theater. I performed on that stage a lot of times as an MC for Lucha Vavoom, which is a show that's been going on in LA forever that combines burlesque acts, so definitely 21 plus, burlesque acts and Mexican wrestling. So there's a wrestling match, there's a peeler. There's a wrestling match, there's a peeler. That they don't like to be called strippers. I'm a peeler.
That sounds appealing.
LA is the best. If anybody puts down LA, send them to me, okay? Because we rock it here in Los Angeles.
That's right. Well, guys,
It's a hot mess, but it's our hot mess.
That's right. Such an Angelino, I love it. So I want to open it up to the Q&A, but before we do, Tom, I just have one favor because I'm such a fan of these particular characters. I was hoping, would you be able to show the audience, hypothetically, what it would be like if the mayor of Townsville met and talked to SpongeBob SquarePants? I'd love to know.
Oh no! Let's see. The city of Townsville, which has inexplicably been... I suck!
Wow. You're fine.
The city of Townsville, which has inexplicably been moved under the sea.
Wow, what the heck's going on? Mojo Jojo? Ah! crazy monkey. Wait a minute. How did I get here? I have no idea. Oh my God, I forgot I can't swim. Help, help, help. 2 hours later, the male was still floundering in the water, unaware that the water only came up to his ankles. So once again, the day is safe, thanks to Hector. Wow, that made no narrative sense whatsoever.